Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second session of the Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders Learning session. I'm Roby Hanif. I'm from the Kalanguya and Kankana Indigenous Peoples in the Philippines, and I'm with the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples. Just to provide you a brief background on the Right Energy Partnership, let me just quickly share my screen. So the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples is an Indigenous Peoples-led multi-stakeholder partnership that works to advance a just and equitable renewable energy transition for Indigenous peoples. Our partnership principles is anchored on upholding human rights, especially Indigenous peoples' rights, strengthening the leadership of Indigenous peoples, also Indigenous women in the energy transition, and also ensuring equitable benefit sharing in the energy transition. Our programs include access to energy, providing support for Indigenous peoples' renewable energy initiatives, capacity building, and policy advocacy program. Now, this renewable energy, Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders learning session came about from our training of trainers that was conducted in Malaysia last January, where a group of Indigenous Peoples practitioners from Asia came together to undergo a 14 days intensive training on community-based renewable energy. And from there, the Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders was launched. And this is a learning program in person and virtual for Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy practitioners to be able to advance energy sovereignty within their communities and address energy poverty also in their communities. The Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders Learning Series is dedicated to advancing Indigenous-led renewable energy initiatives across the globe. And more than a discussion on the deployment of technology, this learning series centers governance, ownership, equity, and self-determination as the foundation of sustainable energy systems for Indigenous peoples. Each month, this learning session will spotlight one Indigenous people's renewable energy initiative to present their energy sovereignty journey. For this month's learning session, we will feature the experience of Aliansi Masyarakat Adat Nusantara Sintang Local Chapter in West Kalimantan in collaboration with the Keling Kumang Credit Union and the Dayak Saberuang Indigenous Peoples in promoting renewable energy development anchored in Indigenous peoples' customary governance and self-determination. This initiative is led by Antonius Antong, whom you will be hearing from later. He's the chairman of AMAN Sintang and a native and a member of the Dayak Saberuang community. Indigenous communities in Sintang have pioneered one of Indonesia's most remarkable grassroots renewable energy initiatives. Since 2006, the Dayak Saberuang Indigenous Peoples built an impressive network of 42 community-owned microhydropower stations across the rivers surrounding Temponak and Sepok districts, successfully providing access to energy to 1,731 households who have no access to energy at that time. Now, three of these microhydro installations will be featured today out of the 42 that was installed, showcasing the partnership between Aman Sintang and Keling Kumang Credit Union, a community-based financial institution that has supported indigenous communities in building renewable energy infrastructure while maintaining customary governance and decision-making. While only 8 out of the 42 renewable energy systems remain operational today due to maintenance challenges and inadequate policy support. These three community-based renewable energy projects offer vital lessons about community-based renewable energy, demonstrating what works, what challenges persist, and how indigenous-led energy development can provide a roadmap for equitable energy transition grounded in community rights, traditional knowledge, and sustainable livelihoods. We will have four speakers. We will have three speakers today who will be sharing their experiences, and I hope Pak Antong is already in the room to start the sharing. By the way, the presentations will be in Bahasa. We have a Bahasa interpretation. So for those who don't speak the language, you have an interpretation button at the lower right part of your screen and click on the channel the language that you would prefer. Um, is Antong already in the room? Pak Gunawan, while we are waiting for Antong to join, maybe we could start with you to present your experience. You're muted. Kindly unmute.
Selamat malam semua. Good evening, everybody. My name is Gunawan. My domicile is in Bandung. I would like to begin this microhydro project. It's from 1991. At the first, we still join with the other NGO that is in Bandung. We are the development of the energy, of the renewable energy at that time. The, at that time, the category was not within the renewable energy. There are few places that we have built this microhydro plant. Well, we could say of all of Indonesia, but I'm committed at that time to be active in the Keling Kumang as the and also to meet with the Dayak people to develop of the indigenous people energy in the Dayak Saberuang, which is in Sintang district. This is the information introduction that I could say. Thank you very much.
So maybe he can proceed with his presentation while we're waiting for Antong.
Like the title will be the natural resources management in the indigenous people area, which is fair and continuous through the renewable energy development. My name is Andy from the AMAN committee in Bogor. This is actually the presentation from the friends of AMAN from the Sintang region, where Antinus Antong here is the head of the Sintang. And in Sintang, we do the activity of the new renewable energy development through the microhydro technology development. Next, this is the background. So the background is of the indigenous people in Sintang by the naming. One of them is the indigenous people of Dayak Saberuang, including Antong. They are part of the also including those who are in the Tempunang and Sepauk. In the Sintang district itself, we have the recognition of indigenous people from the Sintang government. We have the local government law in the year of 2015, where the government of the Sintang acknowledged the existence of the indigenous people of Sintang, and also to the various policies that from the government that they have to establish the recognition of the indigenous people. And also, few the indigenous rich people in Sintang, they have also been given the acknowledgement from the states and also the indigenous people of the Sintang, including Antong in the Ansok. One of the background in Sintang that which is the situation and condition is that the accessibility to the sub-district Tempunak and Sepaok, which is very quite difficult, where the road condition is still the red dirt and there are also rocks. So although the distance is short, maybe around 30 to 40 kilometer, but it could take half day towards that sub-district, even it could be one day. So the accessibility it's difficult, and also this Tempunan support area because they are in the Kujau Hills where there are a lot of the spring hill and also rivers which is start from this hill which has the potential has potential as the microhydro plant in the small scale. And commonly, the indigenous people uh, in this Kujau Hill, many of them we did not receive the state electricity yet, which the indigenous people there, which they do the livelihood is by using the generator, fuel power generator. Actually, to the local wisdom of the Saberuang Adat, they how keep the condition of the forest to be good. They also got the forest and also they got the indigenous territory and also to increase the livelihood. They also do they also try to install the renewable energy platform here. Next slide, please. This is the road condition to the Tempunak sub-district. Few of the friends that has been here to Sabah and Tonibung, there are few road condition that is similar like this. Some of friend of Tonibung's ask also they ask to have the microhydro plant there. They experience the similar condition where the red road which they have to use the vehicle like 4WD car or something like that. Next slide, please. So this is the location of Sintang. So Sintang exists in the province of the West Kalimantan in Indonesia. The same island which are friends Tonibong in Sabah, which is the Sintang district, has the direct border which Malaysia, which is Sarawak state. The difference is that Sabah has the border with North Kalimantan, but Sintang has the border with Sarawak. In Sintang, we we have the potentials to develop the microhydro plant, which is the 42 location, which is in Tempunak Sempawat sub-district, And also within them, 33 location, they have tried install the microhydro plant. Other sources is not yet built. Next slide, please. Um, this is the data that has been collected by our friends in Sintang. So until now, we have 42 plan, which means Mr. Gunawan can also help to explain about this formation. We have 42, which is our friend in Sintang, and also Keling Kumang Credit Union, and also other networks with Cianjuang in Bandung. We collect this data, and a few of them they has been established and is running right now. However, there are also some which is also in process or not yet installed until now. This condition it depends on the situation and condition and also the systematics of the funding and also the support of funding that they get. Uh, okay, so of the phases of the development of the microhydro. Okay, dengar. Can you hear me all? There are a few phases that has been done. The first one, we will do the introduction of the location by the direct observation. There are few area which we have to do observation, whether we have the potential or not. Do we have the people living there or not? If they live there, then we see the potential, whether we can build a microhydro plant or not. This is the beginning of the phases. The second phase is we will do the study. After we receive the response of the local community that we want to do the power plant, then we do the feasibility study in the indigenous territory, where in this study we will get the picture. The first one is that how many people live there and how much energy is needed and how much energy that can be produced. This is important because when we build, that means the energy has to be sufficient for the community for their needs, at least the basic needs. The first one is the for lighting. The second needs is for the entertainment, including for mobile phone, television, or other entertainment. Because there is a custom of the Dayak, they love to hear the music. So this has been counted as the needs that have to be sufficient. After we do the study, then we go of the phase 3 which is installations. After we make the technical calculation, which include the needs, which include the turbine needs, the generator, and the control panel, including also with the other needs for the network itself. So we have to be very proper to be efficient. So when we make of the when we make the budget, it includes all. So the point is the calculation have to be ready and ready now to build of the energy area or to build the microhydro plant. After the plant has been built, then we do the groups of committee. This is important because according to my experience personally, this gives of the technical sharing with the local people takes a lot of time. That means the responsibility is not to build, But also, as long as the microhydro plant is running, when it generates electricity, they always communicate with me. So we need to have the committee. So there is an attention, and also there is a group to check the microhydro plant. So the plant is running as usual. This is important because in the management, this is not only we educate them from the technical side alone, but also teach them of the finance and also the management. After that, we go phase 5, which is maintenance. There are long of process it is maintenance. That means I have my experience of the maintenance of the technical, which one of them even reach 20 years, also 25 years. This is take a lot of time. When we does not care of this, we do not think even the microhydro will do as usual because maybe they might have problem with technical side. This is the picture from my side. While this microhydro plant, they need a organization which is smart, that is continuous, so the plant or the energy can be sustained. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Gunawan.
Terima
Is Antong ready now? From the presentation, the key points that were highlighted there is one, the preparation of the community to be able to establish and manage the renewable energy system. And what Pak Gunawan also emphasized is it's not just building the technical capacities of the people, but it's important to strengthen the governance, the committees, no? Committees of local operators, of those who will be managing the system, and also on finance. Antong, you can start.
Okay, let me continue. Okay, let me continue. This is the process of the beginning of initial discussion to build a microhydro plant. So we, along with the indigenous people, with the discussion, we sit together to discuss. This is the beginning before the building process. For the survey, we make the meeting with them to decide where and what does the indigenous people want, and also the building scheme of the microhydro. And then the next slide, please. Oh, okay. So actually, in Sintang, we have 43 microhydro plants, which we survey and we accompany the indigenous people. One of them, which we can join us tonight, which is to the scheme of indigenous people self-sufficiency. So we do this meeting with them to decide how the villages will have electricity. We can help them to have the microhydro plant together, which is led by the indigenous people. So, for example, Kampung Lanjau, Lanjau village, that they start operate. Uh, so they start to the microhydro plant 2018. This is made for the 119 households, and the power generated is 23 kilowatts. And then Lebuk Lantang village, which is still the same area. This is still one village and the nearby. So the building is the same, 2018. So they start to generate electricity, 2008 electricity. This is for 48 household. the generated power will be 21 kilowatt. And then Sungai Buloh, this is the same. The building starts 2018 and operate 2018. This is for the 124 household, the beneficiary, and the power generated is 90 kilowatts. So this is built by the cooperation with Hujan Kalbar, Kultur Kalbar. This is a consortium, AMAN, and so with cooperation of the producer Keling Kumang and Keling Kumang as the for the initial funding. This is by the program of the funding from the America, which is NCAE. Other thing, there are other microdata plan. For example, in Sungai Buloh River, we have also few microdata plan in that river. One of them is Lutong, which generate a 90 kilowatt. Others area that the indigenous people do. One of them is the microdata plan. We use the turbine. They use local woods from the local area. Also, other material is all of them from local. This is the same that used the turbine. And in Bull River, we have 7 AMAN plant. And also in Tembak and in Mali Mountain, there are also 3 of the micro plant, which they use 2 use the turbine. Oh, one of them use the mills. And also in Mali Mountain, until today, is still running. This is the construction process, which is NCAE, and also consortium Kulsukabar. We use the steel pipe, and also which is accompanied by Mr. Gunawan, the expert of the construction process from the survey until the construction. For example, the assembling of the pipe, and also setting the network until the electricity can be generated. This is the condition in the field. Of course, we have to use the very difficult road. The road access, it's very difficult. The cars cannot go, so we have to bring the material by ourselves. This is the Indigenous People Initiative, how they work together to build the micro plan by the program funding and also for the personal funding. In the Palak sub district, they are also at Microeto, which is 70-80% is been accompanied by AMAN and together with Mr. Gunawan from Bandung. I would like to clarify, Mr. Gunawan, not a Cianjuang person, but used to be expert in Cianjuang. So he become the expert anywhere, including the micro plant and AMAN Sintang. This is the generator house. So we also teach how the indigenous people can operate, and also we teach the operator. We always do the EGT from the initial process of instruction until the working groups, until the environment safety in the watershed area. The micro though, what more important is that how the forest and watershed area in the surrounding area is well maintained together by the community or the indigenous people. I think this is my presentation. I would like to ask Mr. Nayang to share an experience in Tembak. Mr. Nayang, are you here? Oh, hello? Ah, okay, Mr. Nayang, please. Can you hear me, Mr. Antong? So, the microhydro plant in Murmale area, especially in Tembak area of the Veling River, has been construction in 2006 of the 27 November 2006. So it has been 20 years already. And the condition is still running until today. Only yesterday, a week ago, uh, a tree was fell on the of the houses. But for the mills, pipe or the generator is still okay. But we not yet activate yet because we need the time to take away the woods that has been fall. So this is the condition of the microhydro plant in Pele River. And other things, example the Tenuli and also Sawah River, I'm not really sure, but it's not been working for a long time since the electricity is in, so they declare it as not running anymore. I think this is all we can share, Mr. Antong. Thank you very much. Good night. Mr. Kuchi from Tangkit, are you here? Okay, I'm here. I'm here. Okay, okay, Mr. Please presentate and please share the experience. Oh, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. My name is Kuchi from the Nangkit and the Nanafari village. We began the plan in the year 2012. However, the project can generate electricity 2013 end. So the construction process took almost 1 year. Until now, our generation age has been 14 years old, but however, it's still active. Which electricity of my likes tonight? This is from the microhydro of the Gunung Limbang. So this is the like electricity from the hydro plant. Yeah, about the funding is by the together, and also we receive the help from the local government, which is around 150 million rupiah for the construction and maintenance. Until today, our electricity is still okay and still running. And in Sabok, we say that our micro hydro plant is just the cheapest electricity in the world. Maybe this is all on behalf of what I say. Maybe other chance we can also have the discussion. Maybe we can also prepare some theme according to this. This is all. Good evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Kuchi. From Sungai Buloh, anybody join? Okay, you can say about the challenges of the developing microhydro plant in Sintang and also the socioeconomic condition in Sintang after the developing of microhydro. Okay. With the existence of microhydro, 5 years at least at least 5 years. These 5 years because the microhydro in Sintang it's more than 20 years. Some of them age is only 20 years old. However, 3 or 4 years, many of the microhydro is not active. The challenge during the construction, of course, we need the discussion, but which is quite long, and also we need enough time to visit the community, to acknowledge, to accompany them, to ask them together, and also to convince how this micro plant can be constructed and to be success so they can generate electricity. After the lake is here, when indigenous people feel the impact that with the by the funding, and also they also donate some money that they give during the construction. That after we calculate the money that they give and also with the electricity bill, the electricity bill is very cheap. However, if you compare with 20 years ago, which then required the gasoline to use the generator, to use the diesel, and of course, some of them they also use their own manual light. It can be felt that we get the electricity until we calculate the fee between 20 years and now, it's very cheap. For example of the micro hydro in Ansok in my village, 14 years has been running. Although the last 3 years is not really running because there's electricity, but for the 14 years, we calculate economically of the expense from the people to buy the gasoline or the solar to to create for the generator. It's very cheap. If we count the break-even point of the return point, I used to calculate it could be 1.4 billion rupiah. The profit com compared to the 14 years before that we have to buy the gasoline. So this is the from economic aspect. From social aspect, the indigenous people can work together, they can live together to collect the money, the monthly money. This is which which is between 5,000 to 20,000 rupiah per household. If you use the micro hydro plant, Mr. Pan is here. This is by the social economy, the challenges. Day-to-day condition, which there is the electricity, people feel that the electricity is very practical and easy, although the price is quite expensive. And we count the fee is high. For example, one household in my place, for example, we use the electricity for cooking rice and like 100,000 rupiah is not in now. While we use the micro plan, we only use 5,000 for 1 month. There is the pro and cons of the still electricity. For example, we can use many of the electronic device we can use, but the fee is quite expensive. I think in the future, how can we develop the microhydro plant future, which we can also think the spirit of the indigenous people, especially those who have to take care of the of. So I used to do the economic research in the Dayang Batu. So we'll calculate the value of the microhydro value. Almost 40% of the community they support fee, the community reduction, the fee they support the reduction of the community fee. This is Andre. Okay, Mr. Pahan, maybe you can also explain about the challenges and the socio-economic conditions of the micro hydro in Sungai Buloh. Mr. Pahan, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Antong. Sorry, I'm late. I've just arrived from the my place to sell delivery for my business. Thank you very much, friends. I would like to tell a little bit about the micro hydro that has in Sungai Buloh. Sungai Buloh usually we have 7 units. However, for now, which is quite active, we should have two, but we're not yet activate because of the MCI. We have the issue of the committee structure because the committee has an issue. Actually, for the equipment or the micro plan, we can still operate because the engine is still good. It's only maybe just a minor issue, the cables at the household. My own group in Kecher, only the dam is broken. Actually, they is still active. Only the because of the flood, dam is was broken. Other 5 units, as of now, is still off, cannot be operational uh, goodly. Other 2 units is only the technical issue. For, for example, our one is to Chatham and second one is, and also the support from MCI, Nyoboh Yulotong. We don't have a lot of issue there, only the committee issue. For the Tujatem which I manage by myself, only the issue because of the dam is broken. This is about our electricity. About the electricity, actually in Bulu River, the first in Sintang. This is actually from this is start from this is from the super from Chunai. We start in 1998. They start to build. This is the first. This is the first one in Sintang district. We would like to clarify from Mr. Anton for 2018. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Gunawan was the technician at that time. Mr. Gunawan also was the technician that time. That was in 1998, if I'm not mistaken, in the July. We start operations in 1998 because we start to build in 1997, but start to generate electricity in 1998. Jadi, so oh oh technical issue. Oh, so from the 90s, we already think about electricity. So how important electricity is. So for Chunai, we have it, the pipeline is off. There are many things. First, the river flow has been little, which the flow has been moved to other area. We don't know, but the flow of the river start to become less. For Lubuk Nyelutong, actually we don't have many issue. For the Sungai Bulu, we have only technical issue. We still can develop. This is the first and second. According to us, the benefit of the electricity out the micro from the microhydro plant. So we call it as the water power plant. This is very benefiting us. There are two functions. First is to save our territory from the forest area. This is the first function. The second function is our river will be well maintained and cannot be broken when there is electricity is needed. Because at the beginning of the river, the electricity which we don't operate anymore, we can see the social impact of the forest destruction and also other due to the illegal mining. For example, in Supet, there are many of the local mining. We don't blame them because this is what indigenous people do because they do it the mining manually. These are the challenges to operate of the microhydro plant. So the benefits, because the functional electricity, you cannot do maximize. However, for the lightning, this is so wonderful because we only pay 50,000 rupiah for 1 month. It's more than enough. 50,000 is around $5. For example, in my group, we use the generator. We're not many. We only have 35 people because the distance from the village from the is quite far, which is 3.9 kilometer. It's almost 4 kilometer from the settlements, which become the challenge of the operator is an issue too. Because from the monthly fee, we cannot push the member to be more than 50,000 per 1 month. From the monthly fee we collect, we only get enough money to give the operator the fee of 600,000 rupiah. This become what the issue. So many, we cannot say yes to manage the engine of the turbine of the generator because it's far from the settlements. This is also a challenge for us. Second, that become understated society is quite heavy because when the state electricity has been present in the village, so the electricity, our microgrid plant cannot run as usual because people think now, well, we got electricity from the state now. This is the very miserable challenge that we have. So there is no friends want to manage the plant anymore because many people want to get it free. Although economically, 50,000 for 1 month, this is the lightest fee we have. Because if we have this state electricity, for 1 month I have to pay 400,000 rupiah because 1 week is 100,000 rupiah. This is the challenge that I can say. And the construction of the dam yesterday, we already make the meeting 4 times, but due to the road access there has we cannot use vehicle, we have to walk. This is also a challenge. So we have to carry the cement, the rocks, steel. We still carry by ourselves. This become a challenge too. All of the challenge by the presence of the electricity come, they will think now it is easy now. We only have electricity. This is also the biggest challenge. My hope is how the solution or how you guys think to re manage the electricity again because the challenge that the people they have they think that the electricity here it's easy for them so we don't need to manage the electricity the the plant. So we think for now as the committee the challenges is to make the people realize that of the importance of electricity which we own by ourselves because the state electricity belongs to the state. This is also an issue. So we would like to ask from your solution how we should solve this issue. This is what I can say. Thank you very much, Mr. Antong. Thank you very much, Mr. Pahan. Andre, how do you think? Mr. Antong, excuse me. Yes, Paneong. From Sungai Segak, please. Mr. Jangkau. Uh, so we just joined, so we like to hear from the friends first.
Um, the I hope those who need Bahasa translation
Butuh penerjemahan bahasa Indonesia.
will be able to go to the Bahasa
Bisa mengecek di
channel.
bahasa Indonesia. Oh,
And the key points I think that came out from their presentation is one, the importance of the free, prior, and informed consent. No, sitting down with the people, with the community regarding the renewable energy project, its importance, and also their their decision if they want to establish their own renewable energy system or not. I think it's also important what they pointed out on. It's not just a renewable energy system. It's not just a mini hydro, but also the protection of natural resources that provides the water for the micro hydro projects. But it's also about the unity of the community running their own renewable energy system, but challenges were also um, shared by the speakers in terms of one, inaccessibility of indigenous communities. You've seen the photos of the road condition, and they have to manually carry the materials to the community. The other challenge that came out is also on the existence of um, mining livelihood within the community, which pollutes the water. But the other one also is on the entry of state electricity, no? Where people think it would be a more reliable source of electricity for them. So they've shared that there's a decreasing interest by some members of the community to continue with their micro hydropower systems because of the entry of state electricity. But as was also pointed out, um, the community-owned system is still way lot cheaper, more cheaper, more affordable than the ones offered by the state electricity. But also it unites the community as one, no, in having their own renewable energy system. They have a very extensive experience in running their own renewable energy system, and we thank the speakers for their openness in sharing experiences from the ground, even with the technical challenges faced with internet connection. There's actually a question in the chat box on but I think this has already been responded to, Eggy, in relation to why some villages are not um actively engaged in the community-based renewable energy system when the state electricity arrives. So it was responded to by one of the speakers. Are there other questions from the participants that you would like to ask the speakers? When I actually heard about the experience of Sintang during our training of trainers in Malaysia last January, I was inspired by one, their use of indigenous people's traditional knowledge in the construction of their micro hydropower systems. No, it was a manual process for them, but it also united the community, and it strengthened their indigenous knowledge system, applying it to their renewable energy system. But maybe the other one that Antong or any of the speakers can share is how the financing was raised, no? Through credit union, personal out-of-pocket expenses from the community. Maybe you can share how the financing of these uh, community-based renewable energy systems have been. What were the challenges, and what are your recommendations? Any of the speakers can respond. And there's a question here also in the chat box on, is there any state incentive um to support community micro hydro systems? Maybe Cheng, Antong, any of the speakers can respond to the question.
Okay. Well, So that time, before 2017, there are few micro hydro plant that is built. First, we gather with the indigenous people. At that time, I was the trade union, the Keling Kumang. So we gather the people there. Any budget, any things that we don't have less. For example, buying the rock and the cement, and also to buy the cable. Uh, Also for turbine, this is quite expensive. So the working groups of the committee of the microhydro plan. So we organize together to ask for the loan of the Keling Kumang Credit Union. So in the past, we have the group loan, the collective loan. So the community of these people together, they ask for the collective loan and also to repay the loan during the 36 months until 48 months. This is the same that we bill until the loan has been repaid. Averagely, the loan we will divide per person. After we divide per person, how much you have to pay per month. So we calculate together, and also together we manage the credit. At that time, I also sell the loan to the community, to the niche people, and also the niche people they receive the benefits of the electricity. This is the same that scheme that we do. Because less than 10% of the micro plant in Sintang is funded by the government. So the government, when they can opening, they come. But when they build, they never know. So the people, they organize themselves together. So we help how to accompany, how to fund, which we start from the first meeting, we gather together until the construction, until the electricity can be generated. We always do together, the indigenous people. I and Mr. Gunawan work very mobile, and during the first years when the Makoda plan has been has been begin in Sintang. So that's it. Overall, that is how the funding process that we do. And the membership fee is collected apart from the operator fee and honorarium, and also to buy equipment that has been broken, and also for the maintenance. There are few groups. The money is quite a lot. For example, this money from this group usually is uh, kept in the credit union by the collective saving. So that is it, Cheng.
Thank you, Anton, for the response. Maybe we'll have to do consecutive interpretation for those who are not in the Bahasa channel. But are there other questions from the participants? There was a question here on, is there any state incentive to support the community hydro system? Cheng, maybe you can translate to Anton.
Usually Mr. Nayong can speak English well, but okay. So the question was, okay. So they asked one of the speakers to give to provide. support from the how is the support from the government and also the cooperation to work manage together because there are some villages who support and also some who do not support. So the fund from the incentive from the state is usually by the scheme of the people's representative forum for the from the funding which they aim to the villages because they know that which senator is in the government. So the senators they will receive some funding that they will help those villages which the village help support the senator previously. For the credits, it is not limited. The minus is that is by loan.
Thank you. And I think Antong
Uh,
also mentioned a while ago that the state is supporting some micro hydropower systems, but only 10%, if I'm not mistaken, is what he mentioned, no? So it's still way far off the need to establish more community-based microhydro systems for a more affordable and reliable access to energy for communities. We've run over time. If there's no more questions from the participants, we would like to thank colleagues in AMAN and the speakers for sharing your time, your expertise, and your experience to us. This is being live streamed in the Facebook of the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples, and we can always go back to that live stream and also provide English translation to the live stream so that others who were not able to join will be able to follow the discussion. Antong and for the speakers from Sintang, thank you very much for sharing. And to all the participants, do watch out for the third episode of our Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders learning session. Next month, May, we will be featuring another Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Initiative. Thank you so much. And maybe we can already end the live stream. Terima
thank you,
kasih.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for the meeting. We Sintang have made the group or the WhatsApp group to discuss in the future.
Thank you.
We have the questions.
Oh, Eggy, go ahead. Yes, you can speak in Bahasa.
So the question is this. My interest is that to microhydro energy, it's very, very cheap compared to the state electricity. So comparing the fee and the budget between 5,000 with 100,000 per month, this is quite expensive. So how do we compare this? How do we even choose the state electricity rather than the hydro plant itself?
Yes. Who will respond?
Siapa akan merespon? This is also our challenge, Robi. Why people choose the electricity rather than to maintain the microhydro? This challenge has been said by our friends. One, we are limited of the technical stuff like the operator, and the microhydro maintenance has to be continuous. However, there's the electricity, people from external partners who will do the maintenance. So the indigenous people, they can only use to pay and to relax. But microhydro, everything has been done by the indigenous people of the local community. Has been shifted. The paradigm has been shifted from the local community. The community has made the direction to the instant. I think we need a long discussion about this. How the indigenous people can arise again by using the microhydro. For example, we make the choice of microhydro that we have right now can be the house of production or the energy production house. This is how I think how this scheme can be developed in the community in Sintang, especially those we have the micro. Okay. Yes. Can we add some? Okay, please. I would like to add the development of microhydro as of now. There's a mindset of the local community that they see that the state electricity is more practical, easier, and cheaper. This is the thought of them. But after the state electricity is there, the fee for the energy for the state electricity is much expensive. So the local people have the argument to return to microhydro, but challenge is that the power as of now, we could say that the need has been developed. Maybe in the past the need is only very less, only for entertainment or for lightning. But now the people has been more advanced. The energy need is also added. So now the people wants to have electricity as much as possible to get electricity as much as possible to the house. So they have for the dishwasher, washing machine, and other needs as well. Because of now the Dayak people has been more advanced compared to the from the year 2000 behind. I went to the Sintang of the Dayak Saberuang in 2004. Sorry, 1994. So at that time, the people they don't have much needs that time. But after we do the project and went there again to here, when I go there in 2008, 2010, 2014, 2016, until now, I still do communicate intensely with them. I also visit them if I have chance. So the needs has been changed. There are also needs for the washing machine, refrigerator, blender, magic rice cooker that needs a lot of energy. While the microhydro, our concept was only for lighting and entertainment. So this is also a phenomenon in the society. So the people they have the mindset change. So state electricity is easier, it's more practical, it's cheaper. It's not cheaper, it's more easier. We buy, we pay, and then the electricity is there. So we have more money so we can get more electricity. That's why there is a challenge for us after the state electricity in. What will we do here now? So the energy is there, we have enough electricity, but it's pity we don't use that. This is also a challenge for us. How do we use the energy? At least the energy is for the social economic development of the society, maybe for the ice company or to maple production or for other activity for the furniture production, for example. This is also what we need to answer to in the future after state electricity here. What will we do with microhydro plant? It's pity we have the energy here while the water is still running, so the electricity is still running. This is a pity. We have to use this. I think this is my advice for the in the future, how this electricity can be used by the social economic approach. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
think that's one reality for community-based renewable energy systems, micro hydropower systems. There's an increasing household energy demand, no? Appliances that are being used by communities, and the system, if the system that was established has a limited energy, how do you call that, production, um, households will tend to go for the state electricity that provides them 24-hour access, no limit in terms of the usage, but of course the payment is higher, no? As the speaker said, it's a matter of convenience for some in shifting from community-based renewable energy to state electricity. But I think the important thing here is when we talk about micro hydropower systems, community-based renewable energy systems, we're not just talking about technology. So the social preparation process is very important um, to unite the community, that this is not just about technology, this is not just about access to energy, but also uniting the community to be able to govern their own resources through renewable energy, and uniting the community to strengthen also territorial governance. Because once the united community goes into per household electrification from the state electricity, there are some components of community unity that's affected. But as we continue the conversation in advancing community-based renewable energy systems, it's important that at the community level we look into how we still continue these collective processes, even if um, individual households decide to go for state electricity. How can we still continue these community processes to still strengthen the unity of the community and the governance of indigenous peoples over their territories? So thank you so much to everyone, to all the speakers. It was a great sharing, and we will continue this conversation. Thank you for the very frank sharing on the challenges and the recommendations also from your end. And we hope to learn more from your experience, not only virtually but also in person in Indonesia. Thank you. Terima kasih.